These 90 days could change everything. Not next year, not someday. 90 days. In 3 short months, you could rewrite the story everyone believes about you. The story that says you're average, stuck, struggling, doing your best. You could walk into the same room and have people look twice, whisper, "What happened to him?" And you'll smile because you'll know you finally woke up. Yes, it is possible. 90 days is enough to rebuild your mind, your habits, your reputation, your results. 90 days of obsession will outperform 10 years of half-F effort. While most people spend 3 months scrolling, complaining, and waiting for motivation, you will use those same days to become unrecognizable. People will say you changed too fast. They'll wonder what you discovered, what shortcut you found. They'll call it luck because they can't comprehend discipline. They won't understand that all you did was obey law, focus, faith, persistence, purpose. You'll know the truth. You didn't get lucky. You got serious. This is your warning and your invitation. 90 days of pure commitment will make you dangerous in your business, your craft, your purpose. The same people who ignore you now will soon look at you with quiet respect, maybe even fear. They'll say, "He's not the same person anymore." And they'll be right. So here's the decision. Waste another season waiting for life to change. Or treat the next 90 days like sacred ground. Get up earlier. Move with precision. Eliminate the noise. Speak only of what you are building. Act like the man who already dominates his field, because that identity once claimed begins to attract proof. You will see the first signs within days. Sharper focus, faster progress, new opportunities. Within weeks, momentum will build, and within 3 months, even your reflection will feel different. You will have trained the world to see you as you now see yourself. Capable, confident, in control. The clock has started. 90 days from now, people will not recognize your voice, your confidence, your results. They will ask how you did it. Don't explain. Just tell them it's law, because it is the law of definite tests, the law of discipline, the law of faith in motion. Yes, it is possible. 90 days can change your life if you decide that starting now, every thought, every word, and every hour will serve one purpose: domination. Every great conquest begins as a single organized thought. No empire, invention, or fortune was ever built from scattered thinking. The mind is man's first territory, and he who fails to rule it becomes a servant of confusion. For 90 days, you must learn to command your thought with such definite tests that the world will bend to your direction. Most men never learn to think. They react, drift, and imitate. They can confuse motion with purpose and call distraction effort. They fill their hours with noise, but produce nothing of substance. Their minds run like wild horses, untrained and untamed. To dominate your industry, you must first bridle that and make it obey. A mind without direction is like a river without banks. It floods everything and nourishes nothing. I have studied thousands of men, merchants, inventors, laborers, finance, and I have discovered this. Every failure of ambition begins as a failure of focus. The world respects the man who knows where he is going. The drifting mind produces drifting results. The definite mind, like a magnet, draws the resources, men, and opportunities needed for its fulfillment. Let us call this the law of mental concentration. It states that no man can rise above the order of his own attention. Thought is power, but only when gathered. Dispersed thought warms nothing. Concentrated thought burns through obstacles. The sun's rays cannot ignite until brought to a single point. So too must your purpose be gathered into one burning aim. The mind must be trained to exclude. Focus is not effort, it is elimination. The man who thinks of 10 things thinks of nothing. Success is the art of narrowing. Every genius has one trait in common: simplicity of aim. Edison thought of light. Ford thought of motion. Carnegie thought of efficiency. They gave their minds one command, and the world responded. You must do the same. For the next 90 days, hold one definite chief aim. It may be to build your business, strengthen your reputation, or perfect your craft, but it must be one. You cannot serve 2 masters in thought. Choose and let every act, every hour, every conversation serve that aim. You will find, as I have, that power always favors the one who knows exactly what he wants. Let me tell you a truth. Infinite intelligence does not move through divided minds. The double-minded man sends 2 signals to the universe, one of desire and one of doubt. The result is silence. Law responds to definite tests, not confusion. When you decide firmly and think only of that decision, unseen forces begin to align. You become the center of an invisible machinery designed to fulfill your purpose. Repeat to yourself, "My thought is a weapon sharpened by purpose." Say it as command, not comfort. For a thought, once directed, becomes a spiritual blade that cuts through delay, fear, and distraction. The unfocused man is harmless. The focused man is unstoppable. I will warn you now. The first battle you will fight is against mental drift. You will find your mind wandering toward trivial things, the opinions of others, the noise of failure, the comfort of excuses. You must be ruthless with distraction. Each time you catch your thought drifting, command it back to your purpose. Do this 100 times if needed. Every return strengthens discipline. Understand this clearly. Dominance does not mean crushing others. It means mastering yourself. You are not in competition with men, but with your own inconsistency. The man who conquers his own attention has conquered destiny. When you begin this discipline, you will notice strange things. Your days will seem longer. Your work will yield more. Your conversations will shorten, for you will lose taste for idle talk. Your energy will become precise, your words sharp, your actions measured. Those around you will sense something new in your presence. They may not name it, but they will feel it. The quiet authority of a mind under command. Each morning before you face the day, write down one purpose for the next 24 hours. One only. Let it be something that moves you closer to your larger aim. Keep that written order before your eyes until the task is complete. At night, read it again and ask, "Did I obey my command?" This simple act will build within you the power of self-direction. You will find that your mind becomes like a compass, always pointing toward your chief purpose, even when storms arise. That is how infinite intelligence recognizes faith through direction. The mind that wanders in uncertainty is like static on a radio. No message can come through, but when tuned to one frequency, ideas begin to arrive as if whispered from the infinite. Remember this phrase, "Every power I possess flows in one direction." You cannot be powerful and scattered at the same time. The river cuts through rock, not by force, but by consistency. Let your thought flow in one steady current toward your goal. Edison worked years without applause, perfecting the light that now brightens every city. Had he divided his attention among dozens of experiments, we might still live in darkness. His genius was not imagination alone, but relentless focus. Henry Ford ignored the laughter of experts who said his automobile would fail. He thought only of efficiency and simplicity until the machine obeyed his will. Carnegie, a poor boy in a steel mill, held one idea, to organize production. He repeated it daily until it became empire. These men did not stumble into success. They obeyed law through concentration. The average man spends his life acting. He is a servant to distraction, a prisoner of trifles. His mind is a public square where any thought may wander. He begins the day with ambition, ends it with confusion, and calls it hard work. I tell you now, confusion is not labor. Motion is not progress. The man who would dominate must act from plan, not impulse. You must learn the difference between motion and purpose. The bee flies busily but never leaves its circle. The eagle glides silently yet crosses miles. The secret is altitude of thought. Rise above petty noise. Guard your mental altitude as a soldier guards his flag. Each day repeat silently, "I think of one thing only," becomes reality. This will train your subconscious to ignore distraction. After weeks of repetition, your mind will reject useless thoughts automatically. You will feel an inward strength that cannot be shaken. If you doubt the power of concentration, look to nature. The magnifying glass gathers scattered light into a single beam, and that beam ignites fire. So it is with man's thought. Scattered ideas illuminate nothing. Focused thought burns through obstacles. Concentration is creative fire. Now let us speak of how focus affects others. The world honors clarity. When you know precisely what you want, others instinctively follow. Your tone changes. Your gaze becomes direct. You no longer speak of trying or hoping. You speak of certainty. And men trust certainty. They feel safer near the man who knows. Employers promote him, clients believe him, allies assist him. Why? Because faith is magnetic. You will notice in yourself a new quietness, where once you explained, now you declare. Where once you hesitated, now you decide. That stillness is the sign of internal alignment. Focus simplifies character. It removes noise from personality. I will give you one final command for this stage. For the next 90 days, refuse to think of anything that does not serve your chief aim. That includes gossip, envy, complaint, and fear. Each of these drains energy from your purpose. The mind that indulges them becomes weak. Just as the arm that lifts nothing becomes soft, contrary to your purpose, you are training failure. Every time you return your mind to your purpose, you are training success. Repetition is your weapon. Focus is your armor. When fatigue sets in, and it will remind yourself, infinite intelligence acts through me because I am definite. Say it when you doubt, when you tire, when you are tempted to scatter. The law rewards definiteness. It punishes indecision. Think of your mind as an instrument of power. Each morning you tune it to one note, your purpose. Each night you silence all discord by gratitude. 90 days of this will transform not only your results but your identity. The world will begin to mirror your definiteness. Where once doors were closed, they will open. Where once men ignored you, they will listen. You will have become rare, a man of decision in an age of distraction. As these days unfold, resist the temptation to explain yourself. The unfocused man cannot understand the focused one. For his judgment is proof that you are ascending. The masses always mock what they cannot imitate. By the 40th day, you will notice a shift in your emotions. Fear will lose its grip. Anxiety will weaken. Every thought that once scattered you will now seem beneath you. That is the mind purifying itself through focus. It is the beginning of mastery. By the 90th day, your rhythm will be unbreakable. You will awaken each morning already knowing what to do. You will find that life no longer feels heavy. It feels precise. You will sense the law working for you instead of against you. You will walk into rooms and command attention without effort. For men, subconsciously bow to mental order. Write this final truth upon your heart. From this hour, you think of nothing that does not serve your aim. For every thought is a seed, and you will reap its harvest. The man who scatters seeds of distraction reaps confusion. The man who plants only the seed of purpose reaps dominion, is a weapon sharpened by purpose. Every power thus flows in one direction. I think of one thing only, and it becomes reality. Hold that thought until it's you. For when the mind obeys, life must follow. No idea ever built an empire. No ever moved a mountain. Thought alone, though divine, is but the seed of creation. Action gives it life. To dominate your field, you must learn the discipline of execution. To transform mental order into material fact. The man who acts daily, deliberately, and decisively has already claimed mastery over time. You have now learned the art of focus. But focus without execution is like a sharpened sword left in its sheath. You may admire its polish, but it cuts nothing. 90 days of thought must be matched by 90 days of relentless. Every act of discipline, no matter how small, is faith made visible. Understand this. Decision is not action. Many men decide. Few execute. The difference between a wish and a result is one movement, the first step. The world is filled with those who talk, plan, and promise. But life rewards only those who translate intention into motion. Action is the proof of belief. Say it within yourself. I act at once. Hesitation is death to purpose. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They will never come. Do not wait for courage. Courage comes after movement, not before. The man who learns to act in uncertainty will soon command certainty itself. In every great life, there exists a sacred rhythm: thought, decision, action, reflection, and repetition. The undisciplined man breaks this rhythm. He acts in bursts, collapses in exhaustion, and calls it trying. The disciplined man moves in quiet repetition. His steps are measured, his pace steady, his results inevitable. Let us call this principle the law of orderly action. It states that progress is achieved not by leaps but by lines, a continuous march toward one aim. Every single day must contain one deliberate movement toward your purpose. You will accomplish what others waste years to begin. You will learn that success is rhythm, not intensity. Intensity burns. Rhythm builds. The man who works in fury loses power. The man who works in order grows invincible. Every sunrise gives you a new chance to demonstrate discipline. Do not waste it in confusion. Begin the day by conquering yourself. Before the world distracts you, perform one act that directly serves your chief aim. Let this be your morning ritual. It may be a letter written, a plan drawn, a task completed, or a decision made, but it must be definite. The man who begins his day with purpose ends his day with peace. You will see the highest form of self-respect. To obey your own plan is to prove your faith in the law. Those who neglect discipline confess disbelief in their own dream. Faith without organized action is mockery. It insults infinite intelligence by refusing to cooperate with order. Repeat to yourself, discipline is my proof of faith. Every time you obey your purpose instead of your emotion, you announce to the universe that you are ready for greater power. And power always flows toward order. Most people fail not because they lack ideas, but because they cannot finish what they begin. They start with enthusiasm and stop with excuse. They promise the world and deliver fragments. They confuse effort with effectiveness. The graveyard of failure is littered with half-built dreams. Understand this truth. The difference between talent but completion. The dreamer begins 10 projects and finishes none. The dominator begins one and finishes it regardless of resistance. Completion is rare because it demands endurance, but endurance is what separates legend from mediocrity. The next 90 days will test your endurance. Your emotions will resist order. Your old habits will rebel against your new standard. But each time you persist, you weaken the chains of indiscipline that held you captive for years. Every completed act strengthens your will. Let us look to Andrew Carnegie. He demanded precision first from himself, then from his men. He organized every detail of his empire. His days ran by law, not impulse. When others wasted time in speculation, he acted in sequence, trusting that consistency would yield fortune, and it did. Or consider Charles Schwab, who began as a laborer, but became one of the most powerful men in industry. He did not speak of discipline. He embodied it. He turned enthusiasm into structure. He knew that work without plan was vanity, and plan without execution was death. Their greatness was not mystery. It was system. Every man of success is a man of habits. The undisciplined call them boring. The wise call them sacred. Routine is the scaffold. Say within every motion today builds the structure of my success. This affirmation transforms mundane tasks into spiritual exercises. Each time you complete a duty with precision, you are adding bricks to your invisible temple. Do not despise repetition. Nature repeats seasons, cycles, tides, and sunrise. Repetition is divine. Every time you repeat success behavior, you strengthen the grooves of faith in your subconscious mind. Soon action becomes automatic. What once required effort becomes your nature. Each evening, review your day. Ask, did I act in harmony with my aim? Did I complete what I began? If the answer is yes, rest with peace. If no, do not condemn yourself. Correct yourself. Tomorrow is another chance to obey law. Discipline, when perfected, removes struggle. The soldier does not deliberate in battle, he obeys command. The disciplined man does not negotiate with laziness, he moves by law. This is what I call the master rhythm of achievement. Once established, it carries you forward effortlessly. You will notice that as discipline strengthens, fear weakens. Procrastination is fear disguised as prudence. Indecision is fear disguised as caution. Discipline dissolves both by proving that you are greater than hesitation. Each act completed is a vote of confidence in your power. Each act completed is a vote of confidence in your power. In your first week, discipline will feel heavy. In your second, it will feel familiar. In your third, it will feel like freedom. The man who lives by order ceases to battle with chaos. He no longer wastes energy on decision. He acts by law. Say to yourself each morning, I command myself and the world obeys my rhythm. This statement has power. The outer world cannot disobey the man who governs his inner world. The man who governs his inner world. When you command yourself, you become commander of circumstance. Do not mistake this command for harshness. True discipline is not force. It is harmony. It is the alignment of thought, feeling, and action into one straight line. When all three move in the same direction, miracles occur. You will see results sooner than you expect. Within weeks, tasks that once drained you will take half the time. Opportunities that once frightened you will feel natural. People who once doubted you will begin to admire your constancy. They will sense something unspoken, the vibration of certainty. The disciplined man does not explain his success. He demonstrates it. The world begins to depend on his reliability. His word gains weight. His silence gains power. Men begin to say, When he speaks, things happen. They are right. For discipline turns thought into law. Remember this principle. Action executed with precision becomes prophecy fulfilled. Each completed act sends an order to infinite intelligence. That order is recorded, amplified, and returned multiplied. This is not poetry. It is mechanism. The law always responds to the definite. You may think repetition is tedious, but repetition builds identity. Every completed task whispers to your subconscious, I am a finisher. Every broken promise, your subconscious, I am a finisher. Every broken promise whispers, I am unreliable. Choose carefully what you tell your mind through your actions. The disciplined man becomes magnetic because he is consistent. The world trusts consistency more than brilliance. Brilliance may dazzle for a moment, but reliability endures. When you act with steady rhythm, others feel safe in your presence. They will follow your lead, invest in your ideas, and defend your name. Henry Ford once said, "The man who does not organize his work will forever work for the man who does." You must become that man, the one whose life runs by system, whose success operates on schedule. Even infinite intelligence organizes the stars by order. Chaos holds no throne in creation. Each act of obedience to purpose expands your influence. Each delayed action weakens it. The habit of immediate execution will change not only your results, but your reputation. People will begin to say your reputation. People will begin to say he never hesitates. In business, in leadership, in life, that sentence is worth more than gold. Repeat inwardly throughout the day. I act at once. I decide quickly and clearly. I trust the law to adjust results. The more you affirm this, the faster your subconscious removes the instinct to delay. Soon you will act before doubt can form. Do not confuse rest with idleness. Rest is part of discipline. It is recovery under law. The man who never pauses burns his rhythm, but the man who rests deliberately strengthens his pace. Balance is order. Exhaustion is disorder. Let every hour serve one purpose: completion. A half-done act is mental clutter. Finish every small task you begin. Leave nothing hanging in chaos. In 90 days, your world will mirror that completeness. Order within produces order without. You will meet temptation. The voice that says, take it easy, no one will know. But you will know. Each act of neglect, you will know. Each act of neglect weakens faith. Each act of duty strengthens it. Every time you conquer laziness, you conquer limitation. At the end of this 90-day campaign, you will look back and see a pattern of precision. Your days will have rhythm, your speech authority, your work momentum. The old self that drifted and doubted will seem like a distant memory. You will have become what few ever achieve, a man whose thought has become law. So as you rise tomorrow, say quietly, every motion today builds the structure of my success. Discipline is my proof of faith. I act at once. I command myself and the world obeys my rhythm. Say it not as ritual, but as recognition. The recognition that discipline is divine cooperation with infinite intelligence. Each action aligned with purpose is the universe moving through you. From this moment, stop measuring effort. Measure obedience. For obedience to law guarantees result. Before a man can command others, he must first command himself. Before he can lead an industry, he must rule his mind. Authority begins within. No title, fortune, or circumstance can replace it. The man who governs his thoughts, emotions, and speech becomes a living law unto himself. And the world, seeing this order, instinctively obeys it. Most men seek authority from without. They chase recognition, approval, applause, but such things are fleeting and fragile. The true leader draws his power from an inner law, the certainty of self-respect, discipline, and calm dominion over thought. When you possess inner authority, you need not demand it. You radiate it. I call this the law of mental royalty. It declares that each man is sovereign of his own mind. He may rule it wisely or foolishly, but rule it he must. Those who abdicate that throne live as servants of mood, fear, and circumstance. But those who take the scepter of self-control stand as kings in any field. Say softly, I am the master of my inner kingdom. This is not imagination. It is acknowledgement of fact. The mind was given to you for rule, not for rebellion. It will obey whatever voice commands most often fear or faith, confusion or clarity. You must decide which becomes law within you. Let us consider what it means to command the mind. It means to think on purpose, not by accident. It means to feel by choice, not by reaction. It means to speak with precision, not with noise. The man who reacts to every emotion, every rumor, every slight has no authority. He is an open door through which chaos enters freely. True power is quiet. A thunderstorm may frighten, but the sun commands by presence alone. So too does the calm man dominate every room he enters. The world trusts calmness because calmness is proof of control. Others feel safe in its presence. They obey it not out of fear, but out of instinctive respect. Look to Abraham Lincoln. He governed not with rage, but with reason. He faced betrayal, war, and tragedy, yet his tone remained steady. His calmness inspired loyalty where orders could not. Men sensed that he was anchored to something greater than circumstance. That is the vibration of inner authority. Or consider George Washington, who led weary soldiers through bitter winters without complaint. His quiet confidence sustained them when food, hope, and strength failed. They followed him not for promises of reward, but for the calm certainty that emanated from his very being. This quality cannot be faked. It is born of discipline. It grows from years of obeying one's own word. When a man keeps promises to himself, even small ones, he builds invisible power. His subconscious learns that his commands are sacred. Then when he speaks even casually, the world moves. Repeat this truth inwardly. Respect flows to me because I respect myself. You will find that the world mirrors your inner esteem exactly. Those who doubt themselves invite doubt from others. Those who trust themselves awaken trust in others. Life treats every man as he teaches it to treat him. You must therefore learn the art of emotional command. This does not mean suppression. That is weakness disguised as virtue. It means direction. Emotion is divine energy. Misused, it destroys, but guided, it builds empires. The man who channels emotion into action becomes magnetic. The man who indulges emotion becomes enslaved. Think of your emotions as an army. Each feeling is a soldier. If you lead with order, they march toward creation. If you lead with confusion, they turn upon you. You must become the general of your own energy. Say quietly, I command my emotions. They serve my purpose. You must train the heart as you train the mind through repetition and clarity. Each morning, center yourself in silence. Ask, what do I choose to feel today? Then feel it deliberately. Feel faith instead of fear, confidence instead of doubt. The man who controls his emotional climate controls every climate. You cannot lead others through storms if you yourself are in chaos. Calmness multiplies power. Emotional steadiness is wealth. A man who does not waste energy in turmoil can devote it all to creation. Henry Ford exemplified this mastery. When ridicule and lawsuits attacked him, he did not fight with anger. He focused on building. His composure turned defeat into opportunity. He knew that the man who loses temper loses timing, and timing is everything in success. Do not imagine that calmness is weakness. It is the most dangerous strength in the world. The loud man reveals his insecurity. The silent man conceals his power until it is time to act. Noise is the weapon of the uncertain. Quiet is the armor of the master. The secret of command is silence, the ability to hear the inner voice above the noise of doubt. In every man there is a wise counselor, a still guide that whispers from the depths of intuition, but it speaks softly and cannot be heard amid argument or fear. You must therefore make time each day for inner stillness. Spend 10 minutes each morning in absolute silence. No movement, no words, only listening. This is not idleness. It is communion. In that silence, you will begin to feel alignment with infinite intelligence. Ideas will arise, not as noise, but as knowing. This practice will sharpen your mind more than hours of restless work. During these 90 days, keep a record of your emotional state. Each evening, write 2 sentences. Where did I lose command today? Where did I demonstrate it? This small act of reflection will teach you to recognize patterns. You will find that power grows with awareness. Soon your moods will obey you. Anger will appear only when useful. Fear will vanish under command. Enthusiasm will arise at will. You will have become, in truth, the ruler of your own nature. When you speak, others will feel certainty. When you act, others will trust your direction. Your calm will inspire confidence. Your patience will command cooperation. The secret of leadership lies not in authority given, but in authority felt. Say quietly, I am calm and therefore powerful. These words contain deep truth. Power never resides in noise. It moves in measured rhythm. Calmness signals alignment with law. When you are calm, infinite intelligence can use you as an instrument. As your authority deepens, you will notice that people begin to mirror your tone. If you speak in irritation, they respond in kind. If you speak in calm certainty, consciously adjust to your frequency. The leader sets the atmosphere. The undisciplined man absorbs it. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. True inner authority also demands moral strength. The man who deceives others weakens his own vibration. Dishonesty fractures the bond between conscious and subconscious, between man and infinite intelligence. The self-respecting mind does not lie, even when it is convenient. Integrity is the backbone of command. When you give your word to others or to yourself, treat it as law. Do what you say you will do and do it precisely when promised. The world rewards punctuality of character. Those who live by their word become centers of trust. Those who break it become shadows. Each time you keep a promise, you accumulate invisible capital. Faith in yourself. And when faith in self grows strong enough, the world must follow. In your interactions, speak less than necessary. The wise man's power multiplies in silence. Let your words be few, definite, and positive. When you speak, make sure every sentence carries conviction. People will begin to lean forward when you talk. They will sense weight behind your words, not volume, but vibration. Carnegie once told me that he could judge a man's destiny by his tone of voice. Those who spoke hurriedly and nervously were slaves of circumstance. Those who spoke slowly and clearly were masters of it. Calm rhythm reveals inner certainty. You will see this transformation within yourself. At first, you will struggle to hold composure under stress, but repetition will train it. Each time you remain silent instead of reacting, you strengthen mastery. Each time you choose patience over haste, you build command. Each time you act from reason instead of impulse, you declare dominion. The man of inner authority does not chase influence. He attracts it. Others begin to consult him, seek his opinion, and follow his example, not because he demands it, but because his presence radiates certainty. Say softly, I move with calm assurance. My steadiness is my strength. I respect myself. Therefore, life respects me. This is not arrogance. It is acknowledgement of law. Infinite intelligence cannot express through the weak, the fickle, or the fearful. It requires steadiness, clarity, and faith. Authority, then, is not domination of others, but cooperation with the divine order of mind. Let us contrast two men. One ruled by mood, the other by will. The first begins his day with enthusiasm, but one harsh word steals his peace. He shouts, blames, and weakens his influence. The second meets the same obstacle, but remains composed. He listens, decides, acts, and moves forward. Which man do you trust? Which man do you follow? The answer defines success. In 90 days, your calm will become visible power. Your colleagues will notice your poise. Your competitors will sense your confidence. Even your voice will change. Slower, deeper, measured. This is not imagination. It is transformation of vibration. Do not mistake gentleness for surrender. True command rarely needs force. A single calm sentence from a man of discipline outweighs the shouting of one anxious man. Law obeys calmness because calmness is law. Each night before rest, remind yourself, I am the master of my inner kingdom. I command my emotions. They serve my purpose. I am calm and therefore powerful. Respect flows to me because I respect myself. Repeat these words until they cease to sound like wish and become fact. In a short time, your subconscious will accept them as identity. Then your actions will mirror them effortlessly. Authority over self produces serenity. Serenity produces magnetism. Magnetism produces influence. This is the chain of command that builds empires. You will begin to see life differently. Where others see conflict, you will see opportunity. Where others see chaos, you will see rhythm. Where others panic, you will think. This is the crown of mastery. Understand this. Power cannot coexist with inner disorder. The undisciplined mind leaks energy through every unguarded thought. The disciplined mind retains it and directs it. That energy becomes influence. The coming days will test your control. Circumstances will provoke. People will irritate. Delays will frustrate. These are not accidents. They are training. The world tests your calm to measure your worthiness for greater power. Pass these to your worthiness for greater power. Pass these tests in silence. Each victory increases your vibration. By the end of this 90-day transformation, your presence will speak louder than your words. People will obey your tone without knowing why. They will trust you with responsibilities, follow your ideas, and align with your vision. You will have become what few men achieve, a living embodiment of law. You will walk with quiet confidence, command with humility, and think with precision. And when others ask the secret of your influence, you will smile and answer simply, "I have learned to rule myself." For he who has conquered self is already king. The man who would dominate his field must first become essential to it. No one can remove the man whose value cannot be replaced. The world does not pay for noise. It pays for usefulness. Titles, positions, and appearances fade, but value endures. 90 days of deliberate improvement can transform any worker into a master, any observer into a leader, any participant into a creator. The path to domination is not competition. It is creation. The imitator struggles for recognition. The creator commands it. Most men spend their lives copying the forms of others, never realizing that true greatness is originality refined through discipline. To dominate, you must discover and develop your definite advantage. That unique combination of thought, skill, and spirit which no other man possesses. Say within, "I am a man of increasing value." Let this truth take root. For the moment you begin to believe it, your conduct will change. You will speak differently, work differently, and walk differently. The man who knows he is valuable does not waste his energy in comparison. He improves himself daily, and that improvement multiplies his worth. Look at the greats. Thomas Edison became indispensable to industry not because he had money or favor, but because he improved everything he touched. He did not copy. He refined. Each invention was an answer to a problem no one else cared to solve. He observed what others ignored and added value through application. Henry Ford simplified complexity. Where others built expensive toys for the wealthy, he built efficiency for the common man. He did not compete, he transformed. This is the law of increasing value. It declares that every man is rewarded in direct proportion to his usefulness. To serve one man may bring a wage. To serve thousands brings wealth. To serve millions through principle, product, or idea brings empire. Most men want more pay, but few give more value. They ask for reward before rendering service. This violates law. The universe, like a wise banker, increases credit only after proof of reliability. You must first give before you can receive. Give more effort, more precision, more care than you are paid for, and the law will repay you multiplied. Say quietly, "I give more than is expected. My increase is inevitable." Let this become your private covenant with success. Do not boast of it. Simply live it. For the next 90 days, you must organize your life around improvement. Improvement in thought, speech, and service. Improvement in method, attitude, and delivery. Every day must end with the question, did I become more useful today? Usefulness is the currency of dominion. Every skill you sharpen, every idea you refine increases your invisible capital. The world cannot resist the man who is perpetually improving. While others complain of opportunity, he creates it. Begin by examining your craft. Ask, what can I do faster, better, or more intelligently? Most men do their work mechanically without imagination, but imagination guided by purpose turns labor into art. The mind that thinks while working gains tenfold results over the hand that works without thought. Next, study your industry as though you intend to rewrite its rules. Read deeply. Observe patterns, question habits, and look for inefficiencies. The man who studies his field with purpose becomes the living conscience of his profession. People will begin to consult you, not because of title, but because of insight. Spend 1 hour each day in self-education. This is your hour of power, sacred and untouchable. During this time, study principles that refine your craft, strengthen your mind, and deepen your faith. This habit alone will separate you from the masses. For most men, stop learning the day they begin earning. Repeat to yourself, every day, I grow more useful, more skilled, more powerful. When you're subconscious, more skilled, more powerful. When your subconscious accepts this as identity, growth becomes automatic. You will think in improvement. You will act in refinement. You will attract opportunities aligned with increase. You must also cultivate a definite spirit in your work. Skill without spirit is machinery. Spirit without skill is confusion. When both unite, mastery appears. Work with purpose, speak with enthusiasm, and deliver with excellence. Each act done with full attention is a seed of prosperity. The man of increasing value does not wait for motivation. He works by law. He does not measure his effort by the clock. He measures it by completion. He does not count the tasks he performs. He counts the results he produces. This difference separates mediocrity from mastery. Now I tell you a secret. The man who becomes irreplaceable is not the one who does everything, but the one who does one thing better than anyone else. Specialization is the gateway to supremacy. Choose your field, your craft, your channel, and then within that space become absolute. Andrew Carnegie once said that the key to wealth is concentration. To put all your eggs in one basket and watch the basket. Those who scatter their energy among many things end with fragments of success. Those who master one thing command the world's respect and reward. To become irreplaceable, you must also cultivate integrity. The market may forgive error, but it never forgives deceit. Your word must be more reliable than paper. Your work more dependable than machinery. Integrity once lost is wealth destroyed at its foundation. Say softly, I build my fortune on truth. My name is my signature of value. When your conscience is clear, your energy flows unbroken. The dishonest man leaks power because guilt divides his attention. The honest man radiates confidence for his spirit is whole. In these 90 days, you must turn your reputation into gold. Be known for precision, punctuality, and performance. When you say you will deliver, deliver more. When you promise, overperform. Each act of reliability raises your value in the minds of others. Do not seek applause, sirs. Do not seek applause, seek trust. Applause fades when the music ends, but trust endures through silence. The man who is trusted becomes the axis of every enterprise. People will bring him ideas, money, and loyalty. Why? Because faith is attracted to order. As your value increases, competition will begin to fear you. They will imitate your methods, mimic your words, even adopt your style. Do not resist this. It is proof that you lead. The imitator confirms the creator's authority. Continue improving, and they will always follow behind. You will notice that opportunity begins to find you. Men will say you are lucky, but luck is only law recognized too late. The man who improves daily seems lucky because others cannot see his quiet labor. While they slept, he studied. While they drifted, he acted. While they hesitated, he executed. Let others waste their energy seeking shortcuts. Your advantage is consistency. Each small refinement compounds like interest. Each hour spent in mastery multiplies results for years to come. In 90 days, you will not simply be better. You will be different. Say inwardly, I create excellence that demands recognition. This affirmation will guide your work. Excellence is not perfection. It is progress without end. The man who pursues it sincerely becomes magnetic. His work speaks when his voice rests. Resources and allies. The universe favors the man who cooperates with its own law of increase. Remember, nature expands everything that serves life. The tree that gives fruit grows larger. The one that gives none is cut down. So too with man. He must give increase to receive it. There will come a day, perhaps within these very 90 days, when you will feel the turning point. You will notice that your ideas begin to attract attention. Others will seek your counsel. Your opinion will carry weight. People will start asking, how did you rise so quickly? You will smile. Do not stop there. Continue to study, refine, and improve. Mastery is not a destination, but a rhythm. The moment you have arrived, decline begins. Keep yourself humble before the law. Each night, thank life for the privilege of serving through excellence. Gratitude ensures that your value grows instead of stagnates. Let me remind you that your outer worth mirrors your inner. If your results stagnate, your thought has grown dull. Sharpen it through study. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to think higher. The stagnant mind decays in comfort. The growing thrives in challenge. When you become a man of value, it ceases to be a concern. It arrives automatically like shadow follows form. The man who contributes richly to the world cannot escape reward, just as the sun cannot hide its light. This is law, not philosophy. Others will see your transformation. They will say, "Your timing was perfect, your luck remarkable." Let them talk, speak little. Let your work testify. The man who talks of his greatness loses it. The man who simply demonstrates it multiplies it. Say quietly, "The world pays me for the difference," repeating this truth until it becomes instinct. You are not here to compete with the average. You are here to outgrow it. Every day you rise above your former self. When you walk into your business, your office, your workshop, do so as a man who carries light into darkness. Bring order where there is confusion, inspiration where there is fatigue, and excellence where there's mediocrity. You will soon find that even your presence raises the standard of those around you. That is the power of value in motion. In these 90 days, learn to measure progress not by hours but by impact. A man of purpose accomplishes more in an hour of clarity than the idle man does in a week of busyness. Efficiency is the child of direction. When doubt whispers, you are doing too much. Answer: I am only preparing to do what few ever dare. The mediocre call discipline obsession. The successful call it devotion. You must be devoted to mastery. By the end of this period, your results too consistent. You will have crossed the invisible line between ordinary and extra. As you walk through this transformation, guard humility. Pride is the shadow that follows every great achievement. It whispers that you are invincible, that improvement is no longer needed. Do not listen. Pride halts progress. Humility multiplies it. When Carnegie built his empire, he said that the key to leadership was to surround himself with men greater than himself in their respective duties. He understood that humility enlarges power. The man who recognizes others' worth becomes a magnet for talent. The man who serves others with sincerity secures his own greatness. Selfish ambition burns quickly. Service endures. The more people benefit from your work, the deeper your roots of prosperity grow. Say softly before rest, "I increase others, and therefore I increase myself. I grow by giving. I prosper by serving." This keeps your spirit aligned with infinite intelligence, which expands. In the final days of this 90-day transformation, look upon the man you were. You will find your mind is sharper, your decisions quicker, your confidence deeper. You will notice that the world responds differently to you. More respect, more opportunity, trust. You will have become irreplaceable, not because you demanded attention, but because you earned it. From this hour forward, your standard must remain. You are no longer a seeker of success. You are its embodiment. You will walk mastery knowing that value is your nature and improvement. When others ask your secret, smile and tell them the truth. I made myself useful and life made me indispensable. For in all the laws of success, none are more certain than this. He who uses his value daily will one day dominate his field completely. The true test of mastery begins not when success arrives, but when it becomes familiar. For many men, victory is the beginning of decline. They confuse the glow of momentum with a permanence of mastery. They ease their pace, soften their standards, and in doing so forfeit the very rhythm that created their rise. To dominate an industry is one thing. To remain its master is another. You have labored these 90 days with focus, faith, and discipline. You have proven that transformation is not fantasy. It is formula. But the law that built your success is the same law that must maintain it. Rhythm, repetition, and refinement. Momentum is a living thing. It grows with order and decays with neglect. Say quietly, "I live in motion. Growth is my nature." These words must become your identity. Success is not an event, it is a condition. Just as health depends on circulation, prosperity depends on rhythm. The moment it rewards movement, persistence, and continual service. Understand this truth. Enthusiasm creates beginnings, but order sustains greatness. Many burn brightly for a season and vanish like in the wind. The discipline burns steadily like the sun. Their warmth never fades because their fuel is faith, not excitement. Let us call this the law of continuity. It states that mastery maintained is mastery multiplied. Once you have organized thought and action to produce success, you must never abandon that order. Guard your habits as a king guards his crown. They are the engines of your dominion. The ordinary man celebrates achievement and relaxes. The master celebrates by improving. He examines every victory and asks, How may I refine this further? He studies success as the novice studies failure. He knows that perfection is never reached, but every step toward it multiplies power. Henry Ford practiced this law with precision. Long after wealth was his, he continued improving his machinery, simplifying his processes, and learning from his own workers. He never stopped studying his craft. While others enjoyed comfort, he chased efficiency. And because of this, his name became immortal. You must do the same. Begin every new day with the humility of a beginner and the confidence of a master. The beginner's curiosity keeps you learning. The master's faith keeps you steady. Combine both and you become unstoppable. Many men fail because they mistake motion for progress. They chase novelty instead of refinement. But the wise know that mastery grows not by changing direction, but by deepening it. The river does not reach the sea by wandering consistently along its channel. Say within, I sustain order through rhythm. Repetition is not imprisonment, it is power. Each act of discipline engraves certainty deeper into your character. Every repetition polishes ability. When action becomes automatic, energy is freed for greater vision. Now let us speak of gratitude, the secret that preserves success. Gratitude is recognition of law in action. It says to infinite intelligence, I see the order. I honor it. The ungrateful man violates the law that sustains him. He forgets the source and loses the flow. But the grateful man multiplies all he touches. Before you labor, pause to give thanks. Thank your mind for its power, your body for its strength, your challenges for their lessons. Gratitude turns every circumstance into a stepping stone. It dissolves resentment and sharpens perception. When you are thankful, you see opportunities others overlook. Say quietly, gratitude multiplies all that I have. These words keep the channels of abundance open. The man who complains chokes his own prosperity. He poisons his environment and drives away allies. But the grateful man attracts everything that aligns with increase. The master understands that success must be shared to endure. Selfish success is self-destructive. True mastery expands by lifting others. Andrew Carnegie said that no man could build a fortune without helping others build theirs. He created more millionaires than any list because he understood this law. Power shared is power secured. As you grow in influence, look around you. Find those who strive for direction. Teach them, guide them. Not to boast, but to strengthen your own mastery. Teaching refines the teacher. By articulating law, you deepen your understanding of it. The man who hides his knowledge loses it. The man who shares it multiplies it. Say inwardly, I teach others because law expands through service. This is not charity. It is circulation. Knowledge, like wealth, stagnates when hoarded. When you mentor others sincerely, you keep the law of giving in motion. The result is not loss, but renewal. You must also guard against complacency, that silent thief of greatness. Complacency whispers, you've done enough. You've earned your rest. It disguises itself as reason, but its true name is decay. The master rests physically, but never mentally. His body pauses, his purpose never does. In these next seasons of your life, schedule time for reflection. Once each week, withdraw from labor to study your progress. Examine what worked, what failed, and what must be improved. Reflection is maintenance for the mind. Without it, the machinery of thought rusts. Remember that mastery is balance between activity and stillness, giving and receiving, leading and learning. The mind that never rests burns out. The mind that never acts, alternate between movement and meditation. And you remain in perfect rhythm with law. You will find thus grows, temptation follows. Temptation to boast, to dominate others, to chase vanity. Resist it as you would disease. Power without humility collapses. Pride isolates. Gratitude multiplies. Say quietly, I am strong in discipline and humble before law. To sustain mastery, you must also sustain clarity of purpose. As the years advance, goals may change in form, but never in essence. Your definite aim may evolve from personal success to contribution, from achievement to legacy. This is the natural progression of dominion. What begins as ambition must mature into service. Look again to Carnegie. His later years were devoted not to gathering wealth, but distributing it wisely. He understood that mastery without generosity was spiritual poverty. The universe entrusts riches to those who use them for the good of many. You must become such a steward. Say softly before rest, I am a master of stewardship, trusted by infinite intelligence. You will find that when you treat responsibility as responsibility seeks you, opportunity expands in direct proportion to your faithfulness. Success maintained through discipline becomes serenity. The man who once chased results now attracts them. The man who once fought for recognition now commands it effortlessly. His calm is his crown. His order is his empire. This is mastery in motion. But even here, growth does not cease. There are higher levels of mastery. Mastery of thought, of spirit, of influence. As your outer achievements stabilize, your inner work begins. You will now refine character, deepen wisdom, and align ever more infinite intelligence. Spend time each day in quiet communion. Ask no favors. Offer thanks. Listen for guidance. The subconscious mind, trained by 90 days of focus and faith, will now respond with inspiration. It will whisper ideas beyond logic, solutions beyond experience. Record them. Act on them. These are divine instructions for your next expansion. The man who sustains mastery learns that life becomes cooperation with law, not competition with it. He ceases striving and begins flowing. His every action feels guided. His timing becomes perfect. People call it intuition, but harmony with order. You will notice a transformation in how others perceive you. They will speak of your look, your grace, your timing. They will not understand that these qualities are the fruit of discipline continued beyond excitement. You will no longer need to persuade. Your results will speak for you. As your influence grows, remember the foundation of all faith. Faith built your momentum, and faith must preserve it. Never allow logic choke imagination. The master thinks in possibilities when others think in limitations. He believes in increase when others believe in scarcity. When the world doubts, remain still. When others fear decline, hold gratitude. When opportunities shift, adapt without panic. You are no longer bound by conditions. You are master of them. Say quietly, "My calmness sustains my prosperity. My order guarantees my success." You will feel power rise with every repetition. For these are not mere words, but spiritual affirmations that strengthen the connection between thought and law. Guard your environment. The company you keep will either support or destroy your rhythm. Associate with those who respect growth, discipline, and silence. Avoid those who mock progress or delight in gossip. Energy is contagious. Choose its sources carefully. When discouragement arises, and it will return to your original foundation, recall the first 90 days, the early struggles, the victories that proved law to be true. Let memory rekindle faith. You have walked too far to doubt the ground beneath you. In times of success, humility protects. In times of trial, persistence redeems. Remember that every master was once a student who refused. There is no graduation from self-discipline. You are both teacher and pupil for life. As you maintain this rhythm, new opportunities will appear seemingly from nowhere. Partnerships will form, finances will increase, doors will open that were once invisible. This is not coincidence. It is continuity. The law always rewards consistency. At this stage, you must also learn the art of detachment. The master works with intensity but not attachment. He gives his best but releases the outcome. He knows that worry weakens creation. When you act with faith and release with peace, results come faster and with less strain. Say to yourself, "I do my part and law does the rest. I labor in faith. I rest in gratitude." These words prevent exhaustion and preserve rhythm. In the coming years, your mastery will evolve into legacy. You will begin to see that your true industry is not machinery or trade or art. It is character. The man who refines himself refines. Your calmness will influence generations. Your habits will become systems others follow. Your thought will continue working through those you taught. When that realization dawns, you will know that it was never about conquest, but contribution. You did not rise to overpower others, but to what order and faith can accomplish when united. Your success is not your property. It is your responsibility. Every night as you close your eyes, repeat with gratitude. I have lived by law, and law has rewarded me. I act in order. I think in harmony. I move in rhythm. I give thanks for the wisdom that sustains my motion. Then rest, not as a man escaping labor, but as one who knows that infinite intelligence can, even in sleep. You will awaken renewed, guided, and calm. Morning will greet you with fresh assurance. Each evening will confirm your progress. You will feel the continuity of success pulsing through every aspect of life: business, health, peace, and purpose. And one day, when others stand before you in admiration asking for the secret of your endurance, you will smile and say, I never stopped obeying the law that began my rise. I never abandoned the rhythm that built my strength. I remained faithful to order, and order remained faithful to me. For this is the final revelation of mastery. Success is not something you win. It is something you become. Thank you for listening until the end of the video. If you found it helpful, hit subscribe so you won't miss the next business lessons. Share your startup idea in the comments. I'd love to hear your story and learn together. See you in the next video on Listen to Get Rich.